I want you to understand something. Our disappointment tonight is not on you. It's on me. It's on me. I did not do well on Saturday night, so listen to this. That will never happen again.
All right, that was Senator Marco Rubio taking ownership for his disappointing finish in last night's New Hampshire primary. The Florida senator was in South Carolina campaigning earlier today, but he traveled back to our nation's capital for an important Senate vote this evening on North Korea-related sanctions. Joining us now from Washington is the man himself, 2016 Republican presidential candidate, Florida Senator Marco Rubio. First, let me say, it's honestly really refreshing for a politician to say it's on me. I really give you a lot of credit for that. What did you mean, though, it's on me? What about the debate is on you?
Well, look, my people in New Hampshire worked so hard, and I wanted them to know that our disappointing finish, we wanted to do better than we did in New Hampshire. We would have done better than we did. It wasn't their fault. You know, I made a decision on the stage on Saturday night at the debate, and it created a problem for us. It created a distraction that we couldn't spend the last 72 hours closing our campaign. And it was my fault because of the decision I made. What I wanted to do, Sean, is I wanted to avoid Republican on Republican violence. I didn't want to be on that debate stage screaming back and forth with another Republican, with Chris Christie at the time. And so I tried to pivot back to what I think is a very important truth, and that is that Barack Obama is someone who is doing a very systematic effort to undermine and change the nature of our government's role in our country and America's role in the world. And unfortunately, you know, that played into a narrative that he had been driving all week, and it allowed a distraction to be created, and so we couldn't close our campaign strong, and that was on me. It won't happen again. But
I agree with you, though. I think Obama knows exactly what he's doing. He's an indoctrinated Frank Marshall Davis, a Linskyite disciple, an Acorn organizer, went to the Church of G.D. America and Reverend Wright. He's friends with Ayers and Dorn. I think that's all he knows, and he knows what he's doing. So I would agree that...
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to stop saying that. I mean, that's the truth. And we need to understand, look, if you don't believe that, then what you believe is that there's not much of a difference between the Republicans and Democrats, right? Then you just believe the Democrats are a little bit more liberal, the Republicans more conservative, but are pretty much about the same. And that's how we lose elections. People have to understand that what's happening now, they know what they're doing. He is undermining this country. He's undermining our government's role in our society in terms of... And he's doing damage, real damage. So we have to confront it as the truth. And I think the question is, why aren't more people saying that?
You know, look, I've given a lot of speeches, and there were certain times during book tours I give a speech, maybe similar to a stump speech. I go to the same city. I don't use notes when I speak, but I say the same things. I do the same jokes. Every candidate does that, and you seem to have been singled out. Does that bother you? In other words, singled out for using the same lines?
Well, first of all, it's silly because, yes, it may be the 80th time that reporter heard it, but if I'm at a town hall in Iowa or in New Hampshire, that might be the only time that those people hear it. It's not like they follow me around the way the press corps does. Of course you say the same thing in a lot of places because you have a message that you're trying to drive, and it may be the 100th time that a member of the press corps heard it, but it might be the first and only time that that voter gets to hear it. Number two, I don't get it because traditionally in politics where you get attacked is for changing your message, for saying one thing in one place and something different in another.
Good point.
In this case, you say the same thing, and that's a problem.
Do you wish you fought back harder against Christie? Because I actually thought Christie was a little too harsh.
Yeah, what I should have done is basically pivoted back and pointed to his record. You know, I understand he's dropped out of the race, so that's beside the point now. But I should have dropped, pivoted and talked about his record. But Sean, here's what I think and what I know: that when Republicans are doing this stuff to each other, the Democrats are sitting on the side just cheering. They love it. They love this stuff. They love to see it. They love to see the media pit us against each other because it's doing their dirty work.
One final question: going forward, some people say this was a big setback for your campaign. You're going to South Carolina, you got Nevada. Walk us through your path, how you see victory for the presidency, for the nomination.
Well, first, let's put things in perspective. We did not finish as strongly as we wanted to in New Hampshire. That said, we left New Hampshire with as many delegates as the third and the fourth place finisher. So that's number one. Number two, there are people that finished ahead of me. In the case of Governor Kasich, who I congratulate, he did very well, and Governor Bush. Governor Bush spent close to $40 million in New Hampshire, about a tenth of that or a quarter of that attacking me directly. He made the state his primary focus, and in the case of Governor Kasich, made it its only focus. So I think we have to put some perspective here. We finished within 1,000 votes of doing much better, about 1,500 votes against someone who spent 4 times as much as we did. So, and we left as many delegates. Now we go to South Carolina. It is a conservative Republican primary, a conservative state, and I look forward to that because that's the environment that we do well in. I'm as conservative as anyone in this race, and I'm the conservative that can unite our party and grow our movement.
All right, Senator Rubio, always good to see you. 10 days until South Carolina. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.